Hello, my name is Kyle Gilmore. I'd like for you to excuse me. I'm going to be mostly echoing what everyone else has already said. I've got a script here that I wrote myself. Hello, my name is Kyle Gilmore. I'm a senior at Nauset Regional High School. Today I'm representing my Honors Exploring and Respecting Differences class, a student-driven youth activism course that puts an emphasis on involvement and action. I learned about the Pilgrim nuclear power station less than 2 months ago when I started taking HERD. With guidance from our teacher, Lisa Brown, Claire and I began an independent research project on the plant, learning how we could begin to spread awareness and get involved in its shutting down. There's a tremendous potential for energy production in radioactive material, and that's obvious. We recognized this in the mid-20th century and have been utilizing radioactive elements such as uranium to produce electricity. There's an ever-growing demand for energy in our country and all other countries across the world, and so technology like nuclear reaction is incredibly valuable. With that being said, I'm a huge supporter of renewable and clean energy, so I don't stand behind nuclear energy. I believe the energy production by nuclear fission is too high risk of a process for there to be any error in the operation of a nuclear power plant. The Pilgrim nuclear power station has a long history of mismanagement and mechanical failure, and yet has continued to run and will continue to run for 3 more years. I feel that the way that this plant has operated for the last 4 decades suggests a complete disdain on the part of Entergy and of the NRC, not only for the lives of the near 5 million people living within the 50-mile radius of the plant, but also for Cape Cod Bay, Stellwagen Bank, and all of the other fragile ecosystems in our area. Should a critical mechanical failure occur, the dispersion of radioactive material could affect any or all areas within and beyond the 50-mile radius of the plant. Exposure to the byproducts of radioactive fuel in any quantity can have irreversible health effects, both short and long term. With the implication of there being only 2 roadways connecting my home, Cape Cod, to the mainland, immediate evacuation would be feasible, prolonging the exposure to radiation for everyone in the area. Beyond the immediate local area, based on the recorded pathways of radioactive material in the Pacific Ocean following the Fukushima Daiichi disaster, it can safely be guessed that all coastal areas on the Atlantic Ocean would experience some radioactive material exposure, making Pilgrim not only a local but a global issue. Regardless of whether there's a large-scale accident in Pilgrim, it is owed to the millions of people living around the plant that its operation be ended, for the safety of humans, the protection of our environment, and for the long-term habitability of Cape Cod and all other spaces that could be potentially contaminated. I firmly believe that it is not only the responsibility of Governor Baker, but also of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and of Entergy to promptly correct this public safety threat. A new source of economic stimulation would be needed to be introduced in place of Pilgrim to preserve the stability of those employed by the plant. An alternative energy source, hopefully sustainable and clean, would need to take the place of Pilgrim, and careful management of the on-site radioactive spent fuel cells would need to be put in place immediately. I know that the closing of Pilgrim would be an enormous undertaking, there is no doubt, except for the well-being of all, it is an action of the highest import. Thank you.
I know, it happens a lot. Okay. Good? Okay. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. So, hi, I'm Clare Lonsdale, and I'm a senior at Nauset Regional High School. In freshman year, I took Exploring and Respecting Differences, which is a diversity class taught by Lisa Brown. And in this class, we learn about crucial topics such as hate groups, LGBTQ issues, and conflict resolution, and much, much more. I was also the secretary of the Human Rights Academy for 2 years, and in this club, we look at human rights issues all around our community and work within our community to solve such issues. And this year and last year, I took Honors Exploring and Respecting Differences, which I am a student representative from today. And in this class, we look at issues that we look at in ERD, or Exploring and Respecting Differences, and we work to advocate, basically making student activists, and that is crucial to our world today. As a child, I had seen the bumper stickers with "No escape from the Cape." And I was lucky to grow up in the energy movement, clean energy movement, so I knew that using radiation as a means for energy production was very harmful, not only to our environment, but to the people living. But I didn't know the extent. So, fast forward to this year, when Kyle Gilmore and I began an independent research project with guidance by our teacher, Lisa Brown, and we learned about Pilgrim Power Plant, and we wanted to educate ourselves so that we could educate our peers and community into wanting to take action to shut down this power plant. After learning about the effects of the plant's operation on the Cape's ecosystem and our population, I firmly believe Pilgrim Power Plant needs to be shut down immediately. In the event of a large mechanical failure, which is likely possible and highly probable because of all the other shutdowns we've had, there are 2 roads leading off Cape, and the National Guard, which promises to block all roads, basically means that we are stuck. We have no way to get off Cape. And this would be bad not only in the winter, but for the summer, which would make a practical nightmare. And it would be horrible for our tourist economy, which we would never be able to rebuild within 10 years. So this makes myself, my family, and my community collateral damage to the plant's operation. I can't sit back and watch the carelessness of this plant become our Katrina. I am asking Governor Baker to call for the immediate shutdown of the Pilgrim Power Plant and to make Entergy and NRC responsible for their actions. Thank you.